This is not comfortable. Can you hear me? Can you hear me all the way over on the other side of the internet? It is Sunday night, and TikTok died last night and then came back to life today. It was all very dramatic in the moment, and now it's just a little bit silly, and I have some things to say about it. I'm reviving a YouTube channel. Blah, 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 blah. That's it. That's the whole video. That's the whole video. TikTok's taught me a lot of things. It's taught me how long I can spend on a phone. I can spend a lot of time on a phone. It's taught me how we are all just living with lizard brains that don't regulate our dopamine levels very well and are super, super susceptible to addictive personalities. I wouldn't even call it a personality. Addictive tendencies, instincts rather. We're just biologically trained to want to up our dopamine intake. That's for another video. The thing that TikTok taught me the most: the world, the universe, rewards you for speaking your damn mind. It doesn't mean you have to have something super important to say. It's that you have to be brave enough to say whatever's already on your mind. There's this quote by Rick Rubin that I think about constantly whenever I feel like I don't know enough, can't do the thing that I want to do. And it's that the best art is a journal entry. So nobody can say whether it's good or bad, but nobody can deny that it is honest. And that's all it needs to be. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be technical or polished. It just needs to be honest. Where you are right now in your life, who you are as a person, what you're doing, that is honest. Right now, this is what's going on, okay? This is me on Sunday, January 19th at 8:26 p.m. This is me. And I think the thing that stopped me from doing this whole thing, you get to a point in your life where you see such fantastic content, you're seeing what everybody else is doing, you're like, I cannot possibly do it that way. But nobody's asking you to. Nobody wants you to do it that way. You can do it the way that you want to do it. I don't need to have a nice backdrop and like good lighting equipment and a microphone and like coherent thoughts to say. I just really need to be brave enough to do it without all that stuff. Because all that stuff doesn't even really matter anyway. I don't know why I thought, well, I know why I thought that. The person I am today is never going to exist after this. That's a very dramatic statement, but it's true. I will never be 24, almost 25 years old, living in Los Angeles on a Sunday night. I'm never gonna be this version of myself again. So I'm never gonna make this, I'm never gonna be able to make this ever again as I am right now. People always say like, oh, like, don't you think that the art was better back in the day? Don't you think that SNL was better back in the day? Don't you think blah, 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 blah? It's like, well, life is always changing. Art is always changing. The eras are changing. Generations are going to be different. That's the whole point. We're not supposed to preserve art forever. I think what's special about every moment and what's special about every era of art and creation and generations, whatever, SNL, what's special about them is that they are an era, okay? Beginning, middle, end. That's it. Even as we recreate old trends, old-fashioned styles, it's still referring to a time that came and went. And I think that mentality has really gotten me to be like, oh, I should be doing more. Not doing more. Creating more courageously. Not being so scared about doing what I want to do. Because I don't need to be smarter or more talented or blah, 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 blah in order to do and say what I want to say. TikTok's taught me that. I just love how TikTok was like a Finsta account for everybody. And nobody publicly shared their TikTok. But nobody really cared if you saw it either. Like, I was nervous about it for like a second, and then the second I started posting, I was like, well, you know what? This is the real me. We're all freaks on TikTok. And I think that's our true nature. And we're a little bit too scared to share that on Instagram because Instagram is way too polished and it's totally not real. Not to say TikTok is real, but what is real these days anyway? So yeah, TikTok's taught me a lot. I'm ready to do things before I think that I'm ready to do them. I'm ready to do things despite not being ready to do them, including this. Another issue that I've had that has blocked me from being online and on YouTube is my relationship to camera. My relationship to... I hate pulling out my phone. I hate when I'm in a beautiful moment, I'm like, I should take a picture of this. Here's the thing. I think we're in an era where it is almost a compliment to the moment to want to take a picture, or to want to take a video, or to want to share it with other people. There's this one story I have. I'm dancing in the car and singing my heart out to Remy Wolf's new album, and these teenage boys pull up next to me. I roll down my window, and they roll down their window, and we're all like jamming together, and then they whip out their phones to record it. I was like, damn, that sucks. It just ruined the moment. But also, I recognize that it's almost a compliment. It's their version of complimenting the moment. This was special enough to capture or to want to be captured. That's nice. but also kind of sucks. The thing that sucks the most is that we inherently have an Instagram bias or like a camera roll bias. The photos and videos that we always look back on in our camera roll are always biased towards the moments where we have access to, and we have the time to, and and then we do it. And then even more of a bias on Instagram because those are the ones that you select to put on the internet. I always love looking back at photos. I love like seeing who I was back in the day, and even on Instagram, like seeing what I used to post back in the day. But there's a disconnect. There are a lot of moments that go uncaptured because you're not taking a photo of them, and the very nature of having a device like this where you have the option of taking a photo of something, it almost devalues the moments that are not captured. Because when you're looking back at memories, there's a lot that you forget. And if I've learned anything from being on the internet, it's that our brains are not chemically wired to handle all this shit. Okay. So when we're looking back at old photos, it's like reinforcing all those memories on the photos over and over again. And then do you ever get like a friend who like sends you a photo that you've never seen before and you're like, holy shit, you have a memory that I didn't even remember that I had. We share the memory, but because I haven't looked back at my photos, I don't remember that as much as the stuff that I've captured. It's interesting. It's all selective memory. It's all selective memory. And this is just such a it's crazy. It's crazy the world we live in. It's so crazy. And then the last reason why I haven't been on YouTube. No excuses for why I haven't been on YouTube. I'm always like, oh, it's like so oversaturated. I should have gone in back in the day. Which I did. I was 10 years old with a YouTube account. I definitely have gone into circles and circles about, I should have just continued when I was 10 years old and I don't have to work time for money anymore and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, whatever. I tell myself that there's too many creators. There's too much content. But I think it could be argued there's too much of everything. That's a really bad excuse. Too much TV. There's too many books. Oh my god. We don't need another book. There's so many books in the world. But also, is anybody really mad about, like, authors coming out with new books? No. So really what I'm saying is I'm a writer and I'm writing a book right now. I guess I'm trying to say expression is expression, all right? And this is the canvas I'm deciding to paint with right now, and this is the way that I am deciding to express myself. So let's see what I end up doing with it. Here's the thing about 2025. A lot has changed in a very short amount of time. I went blonde. This is new. I'm doing my yoga teacher training in Bali in 2 weeks, going on a big Southeast/East Asia tour. I decided I want to move to New York. My relationship to art and the world has changed immensely. I feel like my frontal lobe is basically just forming. That's what's really happening. I'm realizing that there's a lot of old dreams that I had as a kid that, spoiler alert, don't go away just because you ignore them. And one of them is doing this shit. What? So that's what I'm doing this for. I guess I'm doing that for the 10-year-old me who started a YouTube channel and then never kept going. 15 years later almost. Hey girl. Wait. 15. Yeah, 15. Oh my god. I thought I did math wrong. Okay. I don't really know what I'm gonna do next. I'm going to Hong Kong, Ubud, Seoul, and Tokyo in the next 6 weeks. And I want so badly to be the kind of person who would want to take this thing, everywhere and videotape everything and like vlog in person, but I just don't think that's me. It would be nice footage to have to look back on, but like I said, it's selective memory. I guess if it's worth remembering, I guess if it's worth remembering, then it shouldn't be a problem, but I have weird qualms about it. I think this is gonna be a chit-chatty, hey, these are my thoughts about this vibe. It's weird. It's weird. Okay, that's enough thinking and talking for today. I'm gonna cheers. My tea is cold now. This sucks. Okay. Goodbye.